It is a very foggy morning up here on Pilot Mountain in North Carolina, and today we're going to be shooting with the Sony 20-70 on the Sony A7CR. I told myself I would not buy any new camera gear this year, but I recently got this lens for filming these videos actually. But since a lot of people asked me about this lens, comparing it to the 24-50 in a video I made a couple months ago, I thought I would get out and shoot some photos with this lens as well. So we're gonna walk around and photograph some stuff around here, then we'll probably just drive around and see what we find. All right, seems like some of the fog is already starting to dissipate, so I'm gonna hurry up and start shooting. I'm shooting at f4, ISO 400, and 1/200. The goal for these photos is to really just capture that kind of misty mountain vibe, and hopefully we can find some cool foliage along the way. There's not really any interesting or cool foliage here, just the fog and the trees. So let's keep walking. So I did not have to walk very far before I found this path here, and I love all the trees lining it. I think this could make for a good photo, probably super wide at 20 millimeters. Let's shoot at f5.6, ISO 400, and 1/250. So one of my goals for photographing this area is I really want to find trees or branches that really stand out. And I think I see one over here I really like. There is this dead tree right here with all the shrubbery in front of it and the trees and the fog behind it. I feel like that could make for a really nice subject. And you have these two trees here, and you have those four trees here. So you have this dead tree right here in the center. So let's shoot a wide. And let's zoom in a little bit. That fog is really blowing through. All right, so we're gonna come at it from a different angle because I really like this dead tree here. We're gonna see what we can get. Actually, I think I see a shot. All right, so there are two smaller dead trees here that I can align the big dead tree in between perfectly. So the forest seems to be opening up more and more as I walk down. I swear I'm walking probably maybe 10 feet every time I decide to stop and take a photo. But I love how the forest is wide open here. It's a little bit more flat with a small slope. So I think this will be good for a nice wide shot. We'll angle it kind of upwards. Let's see, angle it kind of upwards if I can get this tree out of the shot here. All right, I think I've got all the photos of like the wide open forest that I actually want to get. I don't want to bore you guys with the same photo too much. So we're gonna keep walking and see if we can find any interesting small bushes like ferns and take photos of those. Maybe moss, stuff on rocks, that could be cool as well. But we'll see, so let's keep walking. So the reason I decided to actually get the 20-70 is because I used to film all of my videos on the 24-105, but as I'm incorporating more and more, I guess, vlog elements like I'm doing right now to my videos, I wanted something a little bit wider, because if I'm shooting at 24 millimeters, it's gonna be a little bit more like this. So having something a little bit wider is definitely nice. And I find having that extra 4 millimeters on the wide end a lot more valuable than having that extra 35 millimeters on the tight end. So I was walking and I found this interesting rock just standing straight up basically. Not a ton of interesting foliage necessarily, but there's also another rock and looks like a tree because there was a forest fire up here semi-recently. Looks like the tree is bent over, falling over, and it's caught on another tree. So let's see what we can do here. So it seems like we've made it to an interesting point. We've made it to the edge of a cliff. I like these pine tree branches here. And I think I see our next shot. So this tree here looks nice with all of these rocks and the fog kind of blowing it in toward me. Not sure if you'll be able to pick that up in the photos, but let's see. And you can see more of the path down below, so maybe I can get a little bit of depth in the image that way. I just realized I've been accidentally shooting on ISO 1600 rather than 400. I don't know when or how that happened. Oh well, I'm sure the photos are fine, and I guarantee you never noticed. All right, so I think I found one final photo we're gonna get here on top of Pilot Mountain, and hopefully the fog will clear up soon because I would like to get a nice hero shot of the mountain itself, because as of right now, you guys still have no idea what the actual mountain looks like because I can't see it right now. So we're currently under a giant rock in a cave basically, and I'm gonna get a photo of this. You can tell where the forest fire happened. Again, this might not be the most interesting photo, but I like it. Shoot wide open at 20. I've definitely found myself shooting wide open rather than at 70 millimeters or anywhere in between a lot more. I feel like it's just hard not to shoot wide open when you have a wide lens. Let me know if anyone else has that problem. I realized I left my camera bag up here. Please still be here. Please still be here. Okay, sweet. It's still there. All right, so we've made it to the actual town of Mount Airy now. There's not a whole lot here, but I'm gonna walk around. I see a couple interesting things, and we'll take some photos, and we'll probably close the video off here. This will be the last place we photograph for the day. All right, so I really love this old building right here. I think we're gonna move closer and get some photos of the statue that's actually inside that building. It looks very, very interesting. Try not to get hit by any cars. All right, so I wish I had a polarizer that actually fit this lens. So I'm gonna try and photograph this through the glass here and see how it looks. Try not to get my shadow in the shot. All right, that's actually a pretty sick photo. I love that. I wish I could go inside here, but it looks like it's either closed or it's just not open to the public in general. I'm not really sure. All right, I love this blue truck right here. I like the water tower in the background, so I'm gonna see if I can line up a good shot here that shows off both well. While we're here, of course, we gotta get some corner shots. People are so friendly here, everyone's waving. That's one of my favorite things about coming to these smaller country towns. But I will say, I don't think the photos are as interesting here as I would have hoped for them to be, which I think is okay. It's just good to exercise and get out and just exercise taking photos. So I was looking for anything and everything that might be kind of interesting for a photo. And I found this street sign right here. Lens might be too wide, but let me take a photo of it real quick. All right, well, I think that's enough photos of this town that is not very interesting. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and like the photos I took today. I'm not sure if there's any photos that I would really classify as keepers, but I guess I won't really know until I get home and edit them. But let's talk a little bit more about this lens before I end this video. There's not a whole lot left to say other than the fact that I am really enjoying using this lens. And if I did not plan on using it as my primary video lens, which I could make an entire separate video about compared to why I'm switching to this lens over the 24-105 and dive in a little bit deeper other than what I mentioned earlier. Now, if I was using this lens as purely a photography lens, I don't think I would use it as my dedicated lens that I would use most of the time. As you guys know, I love prime lenses. Prime lenses will always be my favorite. And the 35mm prime is my go-to lens for pretty much everything. But as I mentioned in my 24-50 video, back in the day, I used to only carry two lenses. That was my 35 prime and a 24-70 G Master. And I mentioned that I could see myself switching back to just using the 35 and then the 24-50. Now, I'm definitely starting to think that this lens might be the better option over the 24-50 if you're looking for that secondary zoom lens to keep in your camera bag if you are a prime lens shooter. And if you're not, then I could definitely see this lens being a great everyday carry around lens if you don't mind a little bit of weight, because it is definitely a little front heavy, but it's not too bad, especially like on your side. Maybe if you're like me and you enjoy using a 35mm prime, and when you're using the 24-50, you got the 50 and you got the 24. Maybe you think 24 is a little too close to that 35mm range and you want the lens to be just a little bit wider, then I definitely think the 20-70 would be the better option. This is definitely a very rough first impressions video of this lens. It's not a review. So let me know if you guys have any questions about this lens in the comments. Like I've mentioned, I've been using this lens for the past couple weeks now, not just for photography. So just let me know. I wish I had the 24-50 here to actually compare the two lenses, but sadly I do not. So thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like the video and subscribe to help support me so I can make more videos just like this one. And I hope I could inspire you guys to get out and take more photos, even if they're not good photos. Go out and shoot.